Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're
Yeah.
looking at just one source. It's this really intriguing kind of poetic piece called Women's Bodies Original Fashion, Teenager in Paris.
Oh, okay. By a means. Updated pretty recently, September 2024.
That's the one. And it's not your usual article, is it? It's abstract, definitely thought-provoking.
Mm.
So our mission today is really to unpack it, see what layers of meaning we can find about, fashion, identity, how society sees things.
Right. Looking for those
Uh-huh.
moments within a poem. I like it.
Yeah, and it's this artistic lens, right? He gives
Yeah.
us a totally different angle on a topic we often talk about in, well, other ways.
Definitely. And just because it's a poem doesn't mean it lacks substance. It sounds like it has a strong narrative, a critical viewpoint. That's absolutely worth digging into.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
not just pretty words. There's a story here.
For sure. It's a commentary.
Okay, so let's get into that narrative. It kicks off with a girl, she's 17, getting ready for this big trip to Paris.
Ah, Paris.
Yeah.
The dream.
Right. The poem says, book the plane to Paris. And then this bit, upload photos and bare designs,
Bare designs. Interesting phrasing.
isn't it? And then this line, do not underestimate the scissors, feathers, and girl. It sets a certain tone, anticipation, maybe, potential,
Uh-huh.
but also the tools.
Yeah, the raw elements. It's striking how even in poetry, you immediately get this story start. It feels like aspiration, but maybe vulnerability too. She's heading into this big fashion world.
Bringing her tools, yeah. Scissors, feathers.
And herself, the girl, it kind of hints she's not just the creator, maybe she's also the material, being shaped.
Oh, that's a thought. Okay, so she arrives, and the poem says, on the airport door, a man with a strange appearance.
Okay, here we go. The first encounter.
And she apparently flattered him and leaned toward him. But then he gets right to it. Asks these really direct, kind of unsettling questions.
Like what?
First, give him some money, asked her stranger. And then this deeper one. Will you walk between the corridors of fashion? You will expose the body to experts.
Wow. Expose the body to experts. That lands heavily.
It really does. And her reaction. The girl was surprised and left. Just walked away.
Understandably. So who is this guy, this strange man? Is he like a gatekeeper or just some cynic? Maybe a prophet?
Good question. Is he preying on her or is he actually warning her?
Right. And that phrase, expose the body to experts. What does that really mean here? It feels loaded.
It does, like scrutiny, judgment.
Maybe all of that. It hints at vulnerability, sure, but also commodification. Like in fashion, the body isn't just wearing clothes, it becomes the thing being looked at, critiqued, almost designed itself.
So who's the designer and what's being designed?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question he raises.
Exactly. It flips the perspective.
Okay, so after that weird encounter, she dives into the fashion world. And the poem describes it through these quick flashes, almost disorienting. Her clothes keep changing.
How so?
Well, it says she wears this red cleft, then she's back to the exposure of white fluffy, and later, this one's kind of chilling,
Yeah.
cast, wearing meaningless.
Wearing meaningless. Wow.
Yeah. And her life is just this blur, and from one party to another to a hotel, nonstop.
So these clothes, the red cleft, the white fluffy, what do they signify, do you think? Are they about the demands placed on her? The expectations?
Seems likely. Different looks, different pressures, maybe?
Could be. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, it feels like a journey into, well, conformity. But that line, wearing meaningless, that really stands out, doesn't it?
It does. Loss of self. Disillusionment, like the clothes don't mean anything to her anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe the fashion itself has become empty for her. She's not expressing herself. She's just a mannequin almost, being dressed up for show.
That's quite a bleak image.
It is.
And then, the poem brings us back. Full circle. Departure day, back at the airport. And guess who's there?
The strange man. Let me guess.
You got it. He's there, smiling to passersby. And the girl, she goes up to him, almost challenging him.
What does she say?
What do you say? Do you know who I am?
Like she's made it, maybe. Or thinks she has.
Okay. Seeking validation, perhaps? Or
Yeah.
defiant? Maybe. But his reply, this is really the core, isn't it? It just cuts right through.
What does he say? This is the climax, really.
He says, I knew you, and I know many like you passed from here. Today they sit in their balconies, and alone in the bodies, obsolete.
Ouch.
Yeah. And he goes on, it does not need those who tear the cloth, who think they're designing costumes. And they design women's fashion dirty. Women's bodies original fashion.
Whoa. Okay. That's incredibly harsh. but powerful.
It's devastating, right? It just strips away any glamour. It's a brutal take on the whole industry.
Totally. He's saying it's transient, exploitative, it uses people up, it uses their bodies, and then just discards them, renders them obsolete when they don't fit the latest trend, the current design.
And that final line, packed on almost like a label. Dirty, women's bodies original fashion. It's so blunt, it just makes you stop and think.
It really does, because the shocking idea there is that the bodies are the original fashion, not the clothes.
Right, that's the twist.
Yeah. The designers, from his perspective, they aren't really creating something new. They're just manipulating, covering, exposing what's already there, the body itself.
So it reduces women's bodies to, what, canvases, trends.
Exactly. Temporary trends. It's a critique of an industry that, according to this poem, profits from a person's very essence, then just moves on when the novelty wears off.
So, okay, let's try and pull this together. What are the main takeaways from this piece?
Well, it's clearly a critique, a really sharp one.
Of how the fashion industry, maybe society too, sees women's bodies as these disposable things, objects to be designed.
Yeah, rather than celebrated for just being what they are. And that central idea that women's bodies are the original fashion, that's pretty radical. It completely reframes beauty and design.
It does, and it also highlights that contrast, between the initial dream, the youthful hope.
And the harsh reality, the disillusionment that can set in when you hit a system that feels cynical, maybe exploitative.
Yeah. What really stands out to you about this view of fashion?
I think it forces us to think about value. What do we value? It connects to that bigger idea of how industries can consume things, people included, instead of uplifting them. It's a stark reminder, really, underneath a lot of what we consume, especially things driven by image.
Like fashion.
Exactly. And there's this deeper story about worth and maybe disposability. It makes you ask, what's really being designed here? And what's being casually labeled obsolete?
Well, this has been fascinating, this deep dive into just one quite abstract piece by Mins. It really shows how art, how poetry, can offer such potent insights, hits differently than an article.
It definitely does.
And that core idea sticks with you, doesn't it? Women's bodies as the original fashion, and the implications of an industry that designs women's fashion instead of, just designing costumes.
It absolutely encourages you to look past the surface, to question the messages underneath what we see every day.
So maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to take away.
Yeah, maybe consider, how does reading something like this poem, challenge your own ideas, your perceptions of beauty, of fashion, and maybe the value we put on human bodies in our culture?
Definitely something to chew on. It's a powerful nudge towards thinking more critically.
For sure. A lot packed into a short piece.